Hi everyone, it's Brian on Oahu, and I'm here with my brother Brandon. And we're going to start doing these videos on a regular basis, just talking about the real estate markets both in the Seattle Tacoma area as well as Oahu. And on this video, we just want to give you a little background about ourselves, our experience, and kind of the clientele that we work with. And with that, Brandon, you want to take the lead?
Sure. So forgive the scruff. I'm kind of growing things out for Thanksgiving week here, kind of casual as the week's slowing down. Yeah, just that I know people are always looking for investor-friendly agents, right? Which we are. And I try and encourage people to always be sure they're asking one main question when you're talking to agents to interview is, how many rentals have you owned or do you own? And that is, you'd be surprised how many brokers or agents have never even owned a single rental in their life or don't now. Now, I say reason to ask them if they ever have is because some people do liquidate and scale back. So that doesn't mean they're not investors anymore, right? Or investor friendly. But most should have rentals in their portfolio like you and I do. So that's like the number one question I encourage people to ask.
Yep. And that's a great point. And just a thought rose in my head is that I want to be very clear that I work with a lot of investors here, particularly legal rentals, vacation rentals. Mm-hmm. And I will not be your competition. I've found some great opportunities, but I am here to represent my clients and help them achieve their real estate goals here. I don't own any. I own a primary residence here. At some point, I do want to own investment real estate here, but at this point, my responsibility and focus is helping clients. And again, if I find a great opportunity, I'm not going to act on it. I'm going to be sharing that with my clients. So I just want to be very clear about that.
Yeah, and that's another good point. I let people know I'm not cherry picking deals. That you and I, we're investing partners, but we're not looking in Washington at the moment. Any foreseeable future. We're watching other markets. We're heavily in Idaho. So my clients don't have to worry about me cherry picking, oh, here's a good deal I'll take for myself and then send them the scraps. So, yeah.
And as far as my background experience, so I've always been a big fan of real estate. I always thought it was a great way to build financial independence and wealth. And after briefly pursuing a basketball career, I went and got my real estate license and did real estate for a few years. I've been licensed twice in Washington State, once in California, and now we're in Hawaii. I've owned my own property management brokerage company in the Seattle area. Also had a real estate syndication company with a partner. So I've, along with Brandon, we have a whole lot of, I would say, quite a bit of experience in real estate investing, how to analyze deals. And another thing I want to be clear about is that I do not do property management over here. So a lot of my clients ask me property management questions about rates, property management laws, like the landlord-tenant laws. I know I have a good overview knowledge of all that stuff, but for very specific things, I'm just going to refer you out to a respectable management company because that's just not my specialty. My specialty is to find these opportunities that I think are going to be good investments. But as far as dealing with the day-to-day tenant issues, stuff like that, that's not my specialty.
Yeah, and over here in Western Washington, I'm part owner in one PM company. I don't do property management. I'm part owner in one, so I can connect people. Our firm manages throughout the Puget Sound area except the city of Seattle. And I'm also then associated with a different property management company that only does property management in Seattle. So there's no conflict of interest there, but they're two good options that people have to consider pretty much anywhere in Western Washington for the most part. So.
And one other thing I want to bring out for people who are looking for a real estate agent in Hawaii, particularly this is Oahu. Although I work with a lot of investors, I also help a lot of people. Very common for people who own property or who have a primary residence out of Hawaii, but they're buying a vacation home here, secondary property here. But I've worked with primary owners here, so I'm not just focused primarily on investors. And another big takeaway is that there are a lot of agents here, but a lot of them are either part-time or they don't produce anything. There's a stat that less than 25% of all agents do more than one transaction a year in Oahu. And I heard that just recently, I heard that about 20% don't do any transactions at all in 1 year. So I'm happy to assist anyone, but if you want to interview different agents, really ask them about their productivity, their production, just to make sure that that you're going to get quality service when you're
Yeah, we're not part-timers, right? I do this probably pretty much 6 days a week, nearly 12 months a year almost, other than taking some time off with my family. But yeah, people that are the most productive with experience in rentals and stuff, those are all good things to be asking, because speaking from experience, when I was investing in Vegas a long time ago with a buddy, and we used a residential realtor, and I don't think we got the best guidance on our investment strategy, and the results proved it. I mean, we got our asses handed to us right in 2007, 2008. So
Yep.
So
and with that, even though there's a slowdown here, I still think there are some decent opportunities to buy real estate here, whether it's investment or secondary property. Inventory is very tight. Values are overall holding their values quite well here. So if you're looking for anything here, and I know, Brandon, you're happy to assist anybody looking for property in the South Tacoma area.
Yep. And look, to run numbers. So I'm looking at my specialty again, just to let everybody know, is pretty much the multifamily, the smaller stuff, getting people their feet wet in real estate, or scaling up from small to medium-sized properties. More vacation stuff and residential, good ways to share resources for people there that may be hands-off, right? Vacation rental owners.
Sounds good. Well,
cool.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for sharing that, Brennan. And
Yep.
we'll talk next week.
Talk to you next week.
Yep. Bye.